Hey, it's Rebecca Smith from the KBIA newsroom in Columbia, and it's time for Missouri Health Talks, a project where we listen in on Missourians' conversations about access to health care. This month, we're focusing on the stories of those working to combat domestic and sexual violence in Missouri. According to the American Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Animals, 71% of pet-owning women entering shelters reported that their abuser threatened or harmed family pets. Lisa Fleming is the CEO of Rose Brooks, a domestic violence shelter in Kansas City that has a pet shelter in their facility. She spoke with Casey Waugh of Wayside Waifs and Animal Rescue about their partnership that's bringing preventative care to the families and pets of Rose Brooks. Here's Lisa.
At its core, domestic violence is about power and control. We see a great crossover between where there is domestic violence, where it's one adult partner battering their partner, that you might also find that intersection of child abuse and pet abuse. You know, similar to dynamics of power and control that happen with adults, where the abusive partner denies them medical care or preventative health. We were finding the same thing with pets. One of the first pet families that came into our shelter on a nightly basis, she was sleeping in her closet with her dog in order to protect her dog, and that was over a month's time that she was doing that. So it's such a strong bond, and something that when we are thinking about how do we break the cycle of domestic violence so that individuals and families can live free of abuse, there was just no way that we could not accept pets into our shelter and to our housing program.
So we've always been here to help the pets, and we've had this long-term relationship and been able to help families in crisis and provide temporary shelter for these animals while maybe their owners had to get safety. But recently, we really formed this partnership that allowed all of us to really embrace and focus on that need and really help both the pets and the people move forward, have a better life, get medical needs addressed, whatever their situation is, because every human, every soul on this planet is different and needs different things. And it's really a great thing to see animals being cared for because it recognizes the importance of the animal, but it also gives dignity to the humans. You know, a lot of outreach is just seen as kind of treating the human as maybe they're a little bit lesser, and that's not at all how we see it, and that's not how we want it to be perceived. We want people to acknowledge that they are, we're all equals, is how I should say. You know, we're all equals, and so when we have these clinics with Rose Brooks, for example, it's about that partnership between Wayside and Rose Brooks, but also how the humans are being treated. They get to go and have a conversation with a veterinarian, just like anybody else would go to their paying veterinarian, as they deserve to, and that's how it should be. So, you know, we want to offer that dignity to everyone involved and really build that relationship so it's not transactional. It's not about, okay, we're going to spay your dog or we're going to vaccinate your cat and then be done. We want to build a relationship there.
That was Lisa Fleming of Rose Brooks and Casey Waugh of Wayside Waifs, both in Kansas City, speaking about their work protecting families and pets impacted by domestic violence. That's it for this week's Missouri Health Talks. Tune in next week for more conversations from throughout the state about health and access. I'm Rebecca Smith. Thanks for listening.